Hi, I'm Chris Gould, part of the executive team at Sydney Water over in Australia. Going to talk a bit about what we're doing in leading the way in decentralised products and services in the water sector. At Sydney Water, we've got a customer base of about 5.5 million customers, which we expect to grow to about 8 million by the middle of the century. And we're a pretty typical utility in the sense that we are facing some challenges around aging assets, as well as that population growth, as well as we're heavily dependent on climate-dependent sources of water. Around about 85% of our water in the city comes from dam and surface water. And in the future, we want to fundamentally reshape that so that we're effectively the opposite, around about 15% from climate-dependent and 85% climate-independent sources. At Sydney Water, we've got two areas that we're leading the way in the introduction of decentralised products and services. And we think that this is the way of the future for the water industry, so we want to be part of that leadership role. The first area that we've been working with an organisation, Hydraloop, over in the Netherlands for the past nearly 3 years, about deploying a Hydraloop unit, which is effectively an in-house or indwelling recycled water unit, about the size of a fridge, into people's homes and businesses. We believe that it can reduce the potable water consumption of a typical household, by about 45%. And for us, the potential savings of that are huge, both in terms of the avoided costs of upgrading our assets for growth, but also around the reliability piece, that our customers are telling us that they want more control and more visibility of how they are working with us to manage their water. And so we've been working with Hydraloop for nearly 3 years to have a pilot scheme up and running. We've installed about 30 units across the city. We're currently in the start of the trial. It's been a very large regulatory challenge to have that accepted by the various regulators in our local jurisdiction. But we're seeing some very positive results and some very positive feedback from our customer base. We think this is a game changer for the water sector, and we're really taking that leadership role to generate an ecosystem of products like Hydraloop that will start to propagate behind the customer's meter, and we want to be part of that journey. The second product I wanted to talk about that taking on a leadership role, we're calling it Water Neutral. We're undertaking a pilot with Salesforce, as well as an organisation, Connexa, who we're working towards developing a product where you can purchase recycled water wherever you are in the city instantaneously, for people who want to offset their potable water supply. At the moment, in the Sydney context, we have only a handful of percent of recycled water usage. And the main factor to that, and main limiting factor historically everywhere around the world, has been proximity to production facilities and the cost of network, the RETIC network. So what we're looking to do is to break the nexus between supply and the demand, and introduce a product much like green energy, where you're effectively able to purchase recycled water with the full confidence and integrity that it will be fully offset through recycled water at a different part of our city. And we've seen a huge interest, particularly from our business customers, large multinational corporations who have sustainability targets that want to be part of this trial. So I hope you've enjoyed a whirlwind tour of two of the areas that we've taken on a leadership position in decentralised products, particularly Hydraloop, which we think is a fantastic example of a global innovation, and a pilot on Water Neutral that we're working with Salesforce and Connexa.